mindlessly driving sometimes, and you
Oh
just
yeah,
show
it
up in
happens.
places.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you'll just get all these fucking awesome ideas, and you're like, oh, I should do that, right? Well, when you get those ideas, you act on it. So if you're like, oh, maybe there's a YouTube channel out there that'll tell me how to command my confidence. Well, then you fucking go on YouTube, you search for it, you find this video, and then it's not magic. It's just, but you believe that you could do it. And that kind of information sort of attracts to you, because your mind is coming up with ideas. And as long as you act on it, you'll make it happen. You don't even have to know how you're going to do it.
Right. Yeah. Because it will become more natural. But I really like what you just said a while ago, because I have I've done a lot of worked with a lot of life coaches outside the dating stuff. And you mentioned that they told me, like they said, when you want to be someone, the process is be, do, and then you have. So you be that person who you want to be, do what that person does, and eventually you have it. So you made me think about that.
Yeah, and that's actually a really simple formula, right? If you want to be, let's say you want to be a multimillionaire doing something, some kind of business, if you find a guy that's already doing it, just do what he fucking did. It's not even that hard. Like, just follow what he did, and by law, you will get to where that guy got,
Right.
And sometimes you'll even do better. It's just, it's a simple, that's why having a mentor is so good, because you find a guy who's already done it and then say, hey, how did you do it? And they tell you, and you do follow those steps, and you'll get where you want to be. It's a pretty simple formula.
No, and one of the things I've learned about, because I've worked with a lot of dating coaches and everything, and one of the things that I learned to develop, even though they gave me some of the processes, I learned how to become more natural in having interactions with women, rather than just doing stuff that is canned and what they told me to do.
Yeah.
And I think once you can get to that level, like you're going to have a higher success rate because you're being more natural. Because I noticed when I was first going out there and talking to a lot of women, I was doing as I was told by the mentor, and the results would be vary. You know what I'm saying? You get some, they say, who were open to going out, others who wouldn't. But I think when the more experience you gain during just having interactions, not just with women but with people, like you learn how to be your own natural self, and that's when you shine. And then you learn to you kind of learn to accept yourself and who you are. And if some people don't like you for who you are, fuck them. They're not worth my time. You realize you want to have the people who are in your life who are thrilled to be around you.
Right.
So, and the other ones who don't like it, hey, it's no big deal.
Yeah. That reminds me, I have a guy that I'm working with right now, and he comes to me the other day, because one of the things I teach guys is Batman game. I call it Batman game. I learned it from
I love Batman. That's my favorite superhero, man.
Yeah. Well, I learned this idea of this concept of Batman game from the 3% Brotherhood. That it's a men's group that I'm a part of, and one of the guys in there came up with this concept. But basically, the whole idea is that when women ask you, what do you do for a living, you want to maintain an air of mystery, right? So you jokingly tell them, well, I'm a millionaire playboy by day, but I dress up like a bat and fight crime at night, right? So you're not being serious. They know you're not being serious. You're just, but you're making them work for it. You're making them work for that information in a fun way. Well, I had this guy who's working for me, and he would ask me, hey, what do I do in this situation? I'm like, well, hit her with the Batman game, And so he would try it, but he had not very good results with it. And he's like, I just don't think it's working. I'm like, well, why do you think it's not working? And what really it comes down to is the fact that he doesn't resonate with Batman. Like, Batman's not one of his favorite characters, he can't make that a part of his own thing. And so I told him, I go, you don't have to be Batman. It's more important to understand the concept behind it. Why does this work? It works because you're not being serious. You're not taking her questions seriously. You're being a mystery, and you're having fun. You're telling her a funny story that she can play off of. That's that's the message behind the message here.
Right.
And
I know what you're talking about. I always say, like, I always do when they ask me what I do for a living, my job is to make you feel good right now.
Right. Yeah, whatever. Like however you want to answer that. But see, that's probably more natural to you than playing the dumb Batman game. You might look at that in your head, go, it would be dumb for me to say I'm Batman, right? So you have to do what's natural to you. So I told him, I go, you don't be Batman. Like, what is natural to you? What's a natural story you could immediately spin on your feet without even thinking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're a James Bond fan. Maybe your job is to make her feel good. Maybe whatever. Like you could say, oh, I'm a pool boy at the local store. It doesn't fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, like, you're just not taking her question seriously and you're having fun with it. And
Right.
so once I told him that, like, you got to understand the concept behind it and not necessarily be rigid with what we're telling them
Mm-hmm.
and make it your own. Like, I think it helped him out a little bit better.